Hello and welcome to Lunchtime News. I am Rhoda Ngonzi. We will dig into it. Government has been urged to mainstream mental health issues in all sectors to help reduce the growing numbers of mental health cases in the country. The Commissioner of Parliament, Matthias Mpuga, was officiating the opening of the mental health camp at Parliamentary Gardens. Deputy Director of Butabika Mental Health Hospital, Dr. Vyama Mutamba, highlighted that the population of patients is growing, but the available resources are not corresponding, posing a significant challenge.
We've published in world-renowned journal, for example, The Lancet.
You find that religious facilities are the biggest mental health facilities. That's where we all start from.
Is it impossible to mainstream mental health in what we do, in government departments, in the private sector? I think this is where this invitation is carrying us to. I want to challenge Honorable Marshall and team to lead the onslaught of mainstreaming mental health in all government work. We are Parliament. Exercise, for example, releases the feel-good hormones that decreases feelings of stress and anger. It also helps us to feel better about our bodies. It can improve our sleep too. If the exercise involves other people, like being part of a team, a class or a group, we see regularly it can also boost our mental health.
Each time we got a report that almost 128 patients escaped from Butabika because Butabika has no wall fence. We are praying that Butabika should be given money so that its land is fenced to keep our patients safe.
The passions.
Yes, the gentleman.
And now the National Unity Platform leadership in Busoga sub-region is divided into two factions ahead of Chagulanyi's visit in Kamuli district for his nationwide tour. This comes after Kamuli NUP faction accused the party secretariat for not notifying and involving them in the preparations for the party president visit. Led by Mpoya Akram, the Kamuli NUP spokesperson, the group claims that they are not aware of the party president's tour in Kamuli. However, the Eastern NUP coordinator, Kaluya Andrew, refuted the claims and termed them as NUP masqueraders ahead of ideology in the party. Andrew Mwanguzi insisted that security grant them permission and the tour will go on as earlier planned. Yesterday, the police spokesperson, Fred Enanga, warned the party leadership from organizing the nationwide tour because they have not yet sought for permission from security.
Our requirement from the law or in the law is not to seek permission from them. It is to inform them, which we did. And we will follow their guidelines as long as the guidelines are within the law.
From the police officers in Kamuli that you should not allow Mr. Chagulan, the party president of NUP, to enter in the Kamuli district because we as NUP leaders, we know nothing. We are not organized. So we are just requesting you as police officers not to allow Mr. Chagulan to enter in Kamuli because
organize private meetings when our leaders are not here. Me being the spokesperson, I accept that at least I can be also attending in some other meetings of the party. But sometimes you just hear information that they have been here in Kamuli, they have been in Namwendwa, they have been in Namasaga, they have been in Kamuli municipality here, when we are not even aware. Now we are telling them, if you really understand and if you really know that we are leaders in this party, please start engaging us, start informing us, such that we can also feel the party.
Concerned, I am here with the leadership of Kamuli
And those masqueraders, I even don't know them. I, as the leader of Eastern Uganda and the head of mobilization in Eastern Uganda, I've never heard of them. So anyone who comes with a beret or an overall, a red overall, doesn't mean that that person is NUP. So we, as the leadership of Busoga, we as the leadership of Kamuli, we are here to tell the facts about the presidential tour. So whoever is masquerading, that one is irrelevant to us.
There are so many things that we are going to tell the president, of which some of the things he knows. In the 1970s, Jinja was a business town that we all knew. And because it was a business town, it was gifted. We had the train, people would travel by train. We had the road transport, which was working very well. We also could travel by air, that is using Chimaka Airstrip, which is no longer functional. We also had the Nile Pier down at the
And now the Minister of State for Trade, Industry and Cooperatives in charge of trade has conducted a familiarization tour at the Uganda Free Zone Authority facility at Entebbe International Airport to inspect the ongoing construction works aimed at promoting export-led and privately led economic growth. According to General Wilson Mbasombadi, Uganda is now positioned to have better export opportunities with the world as more export and import opportunities are created. A 62 billion Uganda Free Zone Authority infrastructure project, currently standing at 65% completion, will facilitate entrepreneurs engaged in production for export development.
It is imperative that facilities like these ones are put in place to help in export promotion of products that will be produced here in Uganda. And so my coming here was to come and familiarize myself with what Uganda Free Zone area has been doing to play that role. It is through helping small and medium enterprises to be more productive, add value to what they are producing qualitatively and quantitatively, so that they can take advantage of that market within the East African community and also the COMESA. That is one of them. Encourage the cooperatives to be more productive. Then encourage industrialization, processing and manufacturing, and then of course deal with non-tariff barriers within the region, so that there is freedom of movement of goods and services between the East African community countries and COMESA countries.
As an authority, our main objective is to create opportunities for export-oriented investment and job creation, and we do this by making sure that there is requisite infrastructure and regulation to enable production at a lower cost, so that we can improve on our competitiveness. We visited Seko Marine Free Zone in Entebbe. That free zone is one of the free zones that I'm very excited about. It's building a ship, a 1,000 metric ton ship. And you know, Lake Victoria, I look at Lake Victoria as a road, and the ship is a vehicle to move on that natural road. And we have facilitated the building of this ship through incentivizing their production costs. As you are well aware, when you have a free zone, it accords you tax benefits, tax incentives.
And Uganda Revenue Authority has announced the waiver of electronic fiscal receipting and invoicing solution EFRIS penalties levied on traders for errors made. Deputy spokesperson for URA, Robert Kalumba, stated that they are implementing a directive from President Museveni following his meeting with the traders in Kampala who had protested the unfair penalties. The tax body also mentioned that they have written to Parliament to amend the law where penalties arising from EFRIS have been excessively high.
Starting Monday, this Monday, URA, in all its regional offices in the whole of Uganda, is going to start the process of removing the penalty waivers regarding EFRIS. We realize that business owners, some of them don't understand EFRIS, some of them were making mistakes in EFRIS, yet we are penalizing them. So we have been having engagements with their leaders, and we are guided by His Excellency to have this thing removed. So Monday, we are starting the process of removal of penalty waivers, EFRIS, this Monday coming, the whole of that week, and even the coming week. But we're not going to do only that. We want to actually do three things. Number one, when you come, we're also going to have the chance to discuss with you and try to make you understand EFRIS. That is number one. Number two, we're also going to listen to you. You may find that this gentleman, his issue is double taxation, not necessarily EFRIS. So it will be also a chance to listen to the Musubuzi, our friend. Then number three, we go into the penalty waiver. So all our teams are on standby. Very good. We have written to Parliament to look into amending the law on the issue of penalties regarding EFRIS. I'll give you an example. If you, my friend, you've made an error, accounting error, in your business worth 100,000 shillings, 100,000. Now, the law states we should penalize you 6 million. Imagine 100,000 error and the penalty is for 6 million. So we have written to... So we have written to the Parliament to try and amend the law so that the penalties are actually proportionate to the error this client has done.
And former Vice President and Senior Presidential Advisor on the Environment, Professor Gilbert Bukenya, has issued a stern warning against the destruction of wetlands in the country, emphasizing that violators will face legal consequences. Professor Bukenya was on a fact-finding tour to Luigi Wetland in Nabweru South, where a contentious ownership dispute has arisen. The professor has, however, called for fresh investigations to resolve the matter and clarify the rightful ownership of the wetland. This action underscores the government's commitment to protecting wetlands, which are vital for environmental conservation and biodiversity.
When was it supposed to be? Tuesday. Naye okuva Northern Bypass bagiteekawo n'etabulikiramu kyonna kuba amazzi gamuvinga nga gatambula nga gagenda agamu gava Namuŋŋoona nga gagenda ne gaguyika mu mwalo ogwo omunene. Omwala Lubigi drainage from Nsooba bwe guba guva Nsooba guleeta amazzi ag'emulago galeeta Kawempe galeeta amazzi gonna kati bwe guba nga gajja nga gajja eno olw'okuba nti kino omwala gwaffe okuva Mpigi we yalekera awo oggogola bannaffe abaaliwo ne batagogola amazzi gasalawo okudda mu bantu tusaba bannange ku lw'obulungi bwa gavumenti yange eno gye mpagira ennyo eya Pulezidenti Museveni atunulira embeera eri wano ne bwe yali ajja wano Dick Kaweesa taata Muhammad Museveni yamuyimiriza wano ewa Bango Bango awali amayumba g'abantu tusaba abantu baffe babaleke
netsi ezo omwala gwe muyita Lubigi kuba oli buli awali amazzi ekiddirira kibeera swamp lutobazi ate awali olutobazi awaddirira babeerawo ettaka eddungi okulimirako mu luzungu bakiyita pit. Kakati genyawala okulaba wano mu maapu yaffe ey'abazungu tulabe ekitundu kino kyaffe ebyokusala ono bamugyewo kyabiyimiriza. Ekyokubiri njagala kulaba NEMA ne minisitule ng'ejja okukola mapping ya wano. Ekyokusatu bwe bali baawo ekibandaza nga kituufu okuggyawo abantu bano bonna bagende yenkolagana y'NRM wenna tubeerewo oba ffenna tukole ki naye saagala ono ate abeerewo ate ono tabeerawo ekyo kintabuli.
And the head of Community Policing Department in the Uganda Police Force, Anatoli Muleterwa, is urging for personal security measures, neighborhood watch initiatives, and ensuring premise security to deter potential criminal activities by wrongdoers. While Kampala may seem like a haven for criminal elements due to its bustling operations, eradicating these elements requires enhanced community policing approaches such as sharing information with authorities. Muleterwa advises against nighttime movements with valuables, hiring unregistered vehicles, and recommends ensuring familiarity with border rider transporting one.
Police have taken proactive measures to apprehend criminal gangs depicted in videos circulating on social media where they employ a kicking technique to subdue their victims and rob their belongings. Some criminals are also resorting to using stones from weighing scales and blunt objects to prey upon unsuspecting individuals. Police regard these incidents as isolated, emphasizing the need for increased public vigilance.
So that's why I would like to call upon everyone. If in case you are moving from point A to point B with anything which of value, inform the police. Share telephone contact. They can even share with you, and then for you call us, and then we do the necessary thing.
Despite Kampala's perpetual commercial activity during both day and night, criminal elements persist due to economic hardships and dense population in certain areas, which create opportunities for criminal activities.
Remember, criminals have gone to the level of even losing shame, that they go even in places of worship. Didn't you say bridegroom and the groom and the bride, whose phones were stolen by one whom they suspected to be a guest, but at the end of it all, he was a criminal. So that is the level to which people have lost morals.
The police stress the importance of reinforcing personal security, fostering neighborhood watch programs, and maintaining premises security at all times.
Work around and see that we improve the lighting system, the physical security gadgets. If it is a perimeter wall, try to light it. If there is a bush anywhere, you try to clear it, and also conscientize your people.
Boda remains the primary mode of transport in the central business district, but they have unfortunately become an effective tool for criminals to carry out attacks and thefts, causing concern among the public.
This business of picking Lubyanzas, these ones without stage, some of who operate only during the night, some of who even move when they have camouflage, they have different jackets, they have put hoods on their heads. Please stop picking anybody anywhere.
Taxis also pose challenges with reported cases of murder, rape and defilement, instilling fear and terror.
Try to move in a vehicle which you know has a stage, especially a taxi. If you know that even when the way they are moving, their number plates are not hidden, if you realize that they are trying to push you and even try to show you that they're in a hurry, desist from using them.
Anatoli Muleterwa, head of the Community Policing Department, attributes the shift in criminal behavior from mere intimidation to lethal actions to advancements in technology.
And secondly, they are also able to read the rhythm and say, if we use point A to point B where there are There are surveillance cameras, we are going to be detected. Let's use this point, whatever.
Police have been proactive in disseminating information, including videos depicting criminal activities nationwide, as part of community engagement efforts to ensure a safer society.
Sometimes we are seeking for the identity and the hideout of those people so that members of the public can be part of us in the investigation and therefore enabling us to reprimand the culprits in the commission of crime.
Ivan Kahwa, UBC News.
And people living with HIV and AIDS in Uganda have been encouraged to embrace the ongoing national population and housing census. The Director of Health at Operation Wealth Creation, Major Mira Ruranga, says this plan for the category. His appeal comes a few days after Uganda Bureau of Statistics extended the census exercise to till Saturday, the 25th of May.
They live on drugs, which are not only permanent, but also very expensive once diagnosed with HIV/AIDS.
How on earth?
Major Varamira Ruranga is living with HIV/AIDS, having contracted the virus at 37. He is now 76 years.
For example, we are 1.4 or 5 million people. And each person who is taking ARVs, the cheapest would be about 480,000 per month. Just imagine that. 1.5 and more are getting infected.
About 1.5 million people living with HIV/AIDS in Uganda are already enrolled on antiretrovirals. This calls for proper planning and embrace the ongoing national housing and population census.
If government does not know your numbers, whether it is looking for funding, whether it is raising funds within the country, how is that done unless our number is known? So in my way of looking at the whole thing, people with HIV should appreciate this, and no one should be left behind without being counted.
All these appeals come at a time Uganda envisions a move to end HIV/AIDS by 2030.
If we are talking about 1.5, if we are talking about over 500 people getting infected, maybe every month. If we are talking about 17,000 people dying of AIDS, and we have only 5 years to go, I think that's quite a challenge.
The 2021 statistics from Uganda AIDS Commission indicate that 1.4 million people still live with HIV/AIDS in Uganda. Henry Okrut, UBC.
And with that, we take a quick break. When we return, more details.
Sigikira mulimo gwenkola gukanikira baba customer kwa wasobuni. Kimba n'obwire obukutwala sente isomero ati nti amukolesa enkola ya MTN mobile money ni migasita 10 star 8 nintekamu kodi namba y'omwana genda sente ninsasola ku luminta ino kuteribanizwa koni katunga esimu kuruga mu MTN bantereire okubanza ntakikirize nkaba amanyire bali bafere hanyuma nagenda nakakuza MTN yao nagamba ntungire simu ino kuluga mu MTN kyamazima okuba nk'abantu amanyire nti aliyo promotion hanyuma madamu akola MTN yangambira kyamazima kubasima muno mwebale muno akasente kabaire kenja kusasula school fees tamwe kujja bakasasulire akandi nja kasasulira mu bagenzi baye abatabandi mwebale muno.
Together we're unstoppable.
Uganda's biggest tourism and travel trade show of the year is here again. The 8th edition of the Pearl of Africa Tourism Expo Poate 2024 under the theme Responsible Tourism will be taking place at the Speak Resort Convention Center, Munyonyo, from the 23rd to the 25th of May 2024. It's your chance to connect with tourism and travel professionals from across the globe. Discover travel holiday deals, packages, and so much more. Visit www.poate.co.ug to register and be part of the event. The Pearl of Africa Tourism Expo Poate is brought to you by the Uganda Tourism Board.
Ebiseera by'okuzzaayo abaana mu masomero tebiteekwa kukaluubiriza n'akatono. Eno kusimba nnyiriri mpanvu kano kalippagano ka bidduka. Simanya kuzunga na banka siripusi? Kati osobola okusasula school fees z'omwana wo ate n'okola n'ebirala ntoko ku ssimu ye ey'omu ngalo. Ekikola kyangu nnyo. Nyiga bunyizi *185*8 ogoberera ebikulagiriddwa oba okozese app ya MTN Momo. Ate kati okola ki olwaleero? MTN Mobile Money Uganda Limited erungamizibwa banka enkulu eya Uganda.
Gear up, grab your running shoes and join the race for life. Run 42, 21 or 5 kilometers to equip Kisoro Hospital's very first ICU. Then, after the finish line, groove all night at the ultimate dance showdown with DJs and performers from Uganda and Kigali. Secure your sport at virungamountainmarathon.org and be a part of history. Save the date, June 1st, 2024 at Shaza Ground, Kisoro Town. Race for a cause. Run for life.
Welcome back. Now in business news, the High Court in Mayuge has sentenced 2 people to 6 years in prison for vandalizing electricity infrastructure. The duo, Khalifan Asuman Molondo and Gesa Ntalo, were found guilty by Mayuge High Court Judge Atim Harriet Okello.
Justice Harriet Atim Okello of Mayuge High Court has given a detailed sentence in the case of electricity infrastructure vandalism, where 2 individuals were convicted. These 2, Khalifan Asuman Mulondo and Egesa Ntalo, were convicted for vandalizing electricity installations in Busoga sub-region. The 2 have been sentenced to prison for a period of 6 years, while Ewan Pala Mahadi has been acquitted in this case.
I also note that this offense has been so rampant, especially in areas of Mpongwe, where the convicts were arrested from. And on the bigger picture, their actions also affect the economy, both in Mayuge and Uganda at large. We'll sentence each of the convicts, that is A1 and A2, to a term of 6 years imprisonment.
The Uganda Electricity Company Limited, one of the complainants in this case, is optimistic that the judgment will deter other unscrupulous people.
Since we arrested the suspects, we have not had a case of vandalism in this area of Busoga where UDCL is operating. So it serves as a good example and deters everyone who wants to do the vandalism of wires and transformers, anything to do with electricity equipment.
The amended Electricity Act of 2022 states that once one is convicted of sabotaging electricity installations, they are imprisoned for a term not exceeding 12 years or a fine of 1 billion shillings or both.
People should learn to respect electricity assets all over the country. We don't condone at all the acts of vandalism in whatever capacity they are, ranging from even tampering with your domestic meter at home. It's an act of vandalism and it attracts the same penalty like what we have witnessed today.
The Electricity Distribution Company commits to conducting sensitization campaigns and educating communities about the consequences of vandalizing electricity infrastructure, while also promoting vigilance. Komagum Rogers and Abdul Nasir Lubwama for UBC.
All right, and the Microfinance Support Center and Mukono Diocese Church of Uganda partnered for economic empowerment through a piggery demonstration project. Minister for Cooperatives, Frederick Ngobi Gume, launched the project at Kalanji Mukono with over 300 piglets, benefiting over 4,000 individuals across Greater Mukono.
In a collaborative effort towards economic empowerment and sustainable development in the districts of Kayunga, Mukono, Buyikwe and Buvuma, the Microfinance Support Center and Mukono Diocese Church of Uganda have joined forces to introduce a groundbreaking piggery demonstration project. This initiative, in line with their 2021-2025 strategic plan, aims to uplift local communities through modern farming techniques and business opportunities. It was launched by the Minister of State for Cooperatives, Frederick Ngobi Gume, at Nakanyonyi Breeding Center.
Where now we are targeting the religious leaders, not only to preach the word of God alone, but also to preach development. So development should be practical. We have been seeing here, you can see here, the plantations, you have seen the pigs, and the various groups are going to benefit. It is also very interesting that the religious leaders, now the diocese, is going to organize people into groups, that they rear their pigs together and be able to work together. They are also going to have an abattoir here, add value.
The partnership targets over 6,000 households within the diocese, focusing on enhancing their piggery production skills, facilitating access to quality pig breeds, and ensuring a reliable market.
And to know that it is a seed whereby they rear them or they keep them with the knowledge of multiplication, make them more, so that they may also give to the others. We thank God for the government through Micro Support Center for this initiative, which we think is going to help our people to overcome poverty.
Extensive training in commercial piggery farming, group formation, financial literacy and record keeping has benefited 4,540 individuals across Greater Mukono. The Microfinance Support Center commitment to sustainable farming practices and economic growth is evident through their collaboration with local communities and faith-based organizations. The board chairperson of directors of Microfinance Support Center directed the center to support the dioceses.
By direct Microfinance Support Center management to work very closely with the bishop, not only on this project, but in your development plans. Attention,
this partnership aims to provide a robust support system for vulnerable groups, enhancing their socio-economic status and overall quality of life. I'm Navka Farida and Robert Boita.
For Lunchtime News, thank you for sticking with us. I am Rhoda Ngonzi. Have yourselves a lovely afternoon.